Hey guys, Crystal here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video on how to make a decent faith route road setup for your game. There are a lot of people who have a lot of trouble with the House of Prayer because it's not quite the same size as the Watchtower Guard Station for the Order Path. So I'd like to make this video showcasing two different ways to create a decent setup for the faith route. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my personal favorite, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of a different one that's simpler but more advanced at the same time. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't watched my building shrinking video, maybe go watch that real quick. It's going to help clarify a lot of the things that I'm doing. I'm going to be moving pretty fast here, but this should explain and showcase exactly how I do this. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to be building your middle buildings. I sincerely hope that your middle buildings are all the smallest size. This layout does depend on that. So first things first, we are going to build our district layouts here. So you don't have to build them all at the same time. You can build them one by one later, but for now I'm just gonna go ahead and build them all. Now, you don't have to build all the roads out as far as I have. You can just like make one little road segment like that, but for ease of viewing, I'm gonna go ahead and just make all of the roads so you can see how I do this. So we are making our districts every 2/10, so we have all of the districts, and then we have the Stockpile District. So alright, once all the districts are marked, I'm going to go ahead and start over here. What you need to do before you start building out too far is mark this section here, which is where you'd normally put 4 houses in a 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. So we're going to mark those 2 there, and I'm going to mark these 2 out here. And I'm going to do the same on this side over here. Basically, you're skipping 2 road segments, making 2, skipping 2, making 2. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this now. So this is a modified 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layout. So what I'm going to do is make my 3 here. Alright, now row 4 is where I change things up a little bit, and I do this for good reason. So we have this middle road here, which makes half-stepping possible on this road. So I'm going to make sure I half-step on the right side of this road, right here, and put a building here next to the Stockpile District. I'm going to delete this tent. I can now delete this middle road here. Now, one thing to take note of, the workshop is the same size as the House of Prayer, so you can use this to grid your layout. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to rotate this with the middle button, line it up next to the house, half step, place it down. Now I'm going to grab a tent and put it next to the workshop. These are both half-stepped buildings now. I'm going to go ahead and put a road there, and a road there. Now, you can place roads in here and then delete these front buildings if you don't have a lot of wood to complete the setup all in one go. All you need is road tiles to make sure that your outlines are good. So anyway, now that we've marked these areas, we're gonna delete them. Place my tent in here. Place my workshop in here. This is just a placeholder workshop where the House of Prayer will be. So alright, so we have our 2, 3, 4 done. 4 looks a little bit weird. I promise I'm going somewhere with it. So we're going to move on to the row of 5 houses. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delete, delete. Place, place. Delete, delete. Place, place. Alright, we've got our 2, 3, 4, 5 done. I didn't actually need this front tile here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that off of here. There we go. Alright, let's do our 6 now. The 6 is easy because with that middle tile in there, all you have to do is half step out on one side, place the middle building. You can see the green tiles, or you can see the green faded lines back there. So now all you have to do is boom, 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 boom. Delete, delete, place, place. There, we've got our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here a little bit faster just to show you that it's not really as complex as it sounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Now, that was pretty quick, less than 2 minutes to finish all that. Now, with the way that we did this, we also made room for an extra little tent here. Boom. Now, we've got a decent layout going here for these two sides. I'm going to go ahead and replace the workshops with actual houses of prayer so I can show you the coverage on here. 100% coverage on these two districts. Tell me that's not awesome. So with just these two districts, let's go ahead and count together how many small house spaces we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Delete this one tent. 36. Delete this one tent. 35. We can go ahead and replace these middle houses on row 5 with fighting arenas for 89% coverage. You just won't be hitting the middle. And there, we have 35 houses on this side. And if you copy this layout over here, you'll have 35 houses over here, which makes the 70 houses you'll need. And you'll have the Stockpile District free, and this district over here completely free to build whatever you'd like. You have built all 70 houses with 100% prayer temple coverage in only 4 districts. Which also means you'll have a bunch of extra places. Like, you could get rid of these 2 tents at the end if you wanted. Shouldn't be a problem. You'll have more than you'll have plenty of space to do everything that you want to do. So, also, For steam hubs, what you'd want to do is, let's go ahead and make some roads here. For the steam hubs, the easiest way is just to place them right in front of the fighting arenas, right in the very middle. One hub per... no, that's not the right place, sorry. Where is the correct spot for this? Yeah, it is right in front of the fighting arenas. At range 1, that will build... Sorry, at range 1, that'll cover all but this building, this building, this building, and this building. It'll cover all but those 4 tents right there. So, I mean, that's pretty decent. So, you'll hit 99% of the tents. And for the rest of the tents, you can just build steam hubs out here, which you'll need to do later anyway, so... But, you know what, let's go ahead and fast forward just so I can show you exactly what it looks like when it's all built, so... Here we go! This might crash my game because of how much is going on. Got so many people here.
Go to work.
Range 1. Range 1. What do you want? Blah, 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 blah. Gotta make my roads here. Alright, so when all is said and done, this is what it looks like. Here's the heat coverage. You're missing just 1, 2, 3, 4 tents, and those will typically be covered by steam hubs that are out here very easily. Like, put one steam hub right here, and it'll hit those 2 tents very easily. So, repeating this layout on the other side works as well. I think this is a pretty darn good setup. It only requires 4 districts to make all 70 of your houses. And then I like to save room for the temple right here, Faith Keepers right here, and you'll have a little bit extra space. So then you can just build whatever the heck you want out here. Good spot for resource depots. You can build out here much easier. This isn't really a video on how to make a perfect city layout, so we'll just stick with that. So, yeah, that is my preferred layout for Faith. I'm going to show you a little bit more of a complex one next, so let's go ahead and load up my non-corrupted save here so I don't have to dismantle everything. This one is one that works if you're only going to build like a 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the basic generator 4 range. The last one I showed you was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modified. This one works for 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let's say you don't want to build that far out with houses. You want them all a little bit clustered tighter. So, this will take up 5 districts instead of 4, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, first thing you want to do is build your tents as normal. But we're not actually going to let them finish, so... Now, what you do want to do at the very beginning of the game, and you can do this piece by piece, you want to mark out your districts here. You only really need 1 road tile out here, but as I said earlier in the video, I'm going to draw out all of the roads just for ease of viewing, so... But for example, you could just do that, and it would be plenty so you can snap onto this road tile later. But you want your districts marked, is the whole point of this, so that you can snap onto the road tiles later. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, now before we delete these tents, we want to mark out the row of 4. We absolutely need this middle road in here. or you're going to have a hell of a time half-stepping later. So we're going to do that on all 5 of the districts that we're building. Stockpile District is fine. Alright, so we're good there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete all the tents in the middle. Now, I'm going to remove 1, 2, 3 segments from each of these. And if you've only made like 1 tile out here, it's fine. You won't have to delete as much as I'm deleting. But I need to make room for a little gimmick that I'm doing here. So, I'm just going to go ahead and go through this pretty fast. This is a little bit advanced to try to keep up. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up my tent with the stockpile, pull back once, move over twice, mark it with a road, delete the tent, make sure the workshop fits, we're good. Make a tent, we're good. We'll keep doing this side. So we're going to continue on this side. Pull out your tent once, move over twice, mark it. Place a workshop, and we're done on this side. Let's move over to the other side. We're going to go ahead and grab a tent, pull back once, move over twice. What this is doing is it's squishing the workshop, prayer temple alignment so we can fit things in here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a workshop because these are the same size as House of Prayers, so we can use these to figure out what we're doing. Okay, so we've got the workshop in, and now we're pretty much done with half-stepping. I'm going to make 1 tent here. I'm going to move over to this side, make 2 tents here. And I'm going to make 1 workshop here. So now if you look over at the Stockpile District, I'm going to show you what it looks like. You've got a workshop next to the stockpile on each side, followed by a tent, followed by 2 workshops, followed by 2 tents here. So that's what it looks like. If you delete these workshops, I'm going to show you what the prayer temple coverage looks like. Boom, 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 boom. Tell me that's not good prayer temple coverage there. So at this point, what you'd want to do is just mark out your roads here in the middle. And then you can delete your workshops. You can keep the tents, but delete the workshops and save them for later when you actually get to Winterhome and can build the houses of prayer. So, deleted. This is what your starting layout would look like. 4 houses on the middle. It's a little bit harder to get started because you've only got 4 houses heated and you have to build the rest out a little bit, but it does leave room for the prayer temples. And you can actually build houses inside of here. I mean, there's room to build houses inside of here. You'll just have to remember to delete them later. So, this is a really good layout for getting good coverage. And then you can do your basic 2, 3, 4, 5 with this layout, which I will do very quickly just to demonstrate. So here's a row with 3. There's our 4. And there's our 5. And if you will take note, House of Prayer covers every single house there. And you get full coverage of everything in the 2, 3, 4, 5 area, as well as your Stockpile District, so it's a decent layout too. So that's another option you can use for faith layouts. So I prefer the first option because it only covers 4 districts, and it allows you to basically have room for more stuff. But either option is fine, so I'm going to go ahead and load up and my clear, and I'm going to give you guys a little bonus here on what you can do with the Stockpile District, because a lot of people have issues with making things fit behind the stockpile. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the layout that I like to use behind the stockpile. This doesn't have anything to do with the faith or the order route. It's just kind of my bonus to you guys. So once you have your district roads lined out here, the easiest way to fit 2 buildings right here behind the stockpile is to grab a workshop and just pull it back a couple until you can see that it fits right there in the middle. You'll notice the middle of the line is right in the middle of the stockpile. Then you can just draw a line straight down there, and we're going to pull it back one more. What this does is it lets you have room for medical posts here, medium-sized buildings here, and those are all fitting very perfectly. So for the next part, I like to do medium, elongated medium, and for that all you need to do is grab a workshop and pull it back from the center until you see that it's lined up perfectly with the middle. You're basically half-stepping in the middle. Then you can draw 3 lines here. And what this will let you do is have a workshop there, cookhouse there. And these medium buildings can be factories, beacons, cookhouses, hunters' huts, infirmaries, anything you want. These workshop-sized buildings, they can be workshops, child shelters, care houses, House of Prayer again if you want, but those are the 2 sizes of buildings you're going to be using the most in the game. So for the next row, I like to put 2 medium and 2 elongated, so I'm going to go ahead and half step my cookhouses out here, and then the workshops will fit perfectly right here. And everything fits. You don't have to keep these buildings in here. You can just mark the layouts and they'll fit fine. And for the next one, I like to build 1 medium and 5 elongated. So what we're going to do is half step all these. Now keep in mind, this isn't going to work unless you have these side roads here. If you don't have the side roads, things aren't going to snap to grid, so you need these side roads here and here before any of this is going to work. If you don't do that, this is not going to work. So at this point, you can make your roads. This Stockpile District is a great place for your early workshops when you're building a whole lot of them. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, delete. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to show you what it looks like. Let's go ahead and make some roads so these buildings are actually functional. Alright, here we go. Get to work, boys. Don't crash on me, game. Come on. So yeah, this is what your stockpile district can look like. Everything fits perfectly, looks very nice. You can build more back here if you want to. I usually reserve this for early game sawmills. But yeah, that's a good layout for the stockpile district. I'll zoom in and give you a better look. So you've got 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 mediums and an elongated, 2 mediums, 2 elongated, and then a medium with 5 elongated. I find that to be a very good fit. It makes the stockpile district work pretty darn well. So, fun fact, 2 elongated equals, 3 elongated equals 2 medium, and I'll show you what I mean here. If I later want to replace these workshops with something else, let's go ahead and delete these. Come on, get going. There we go. So I've deleted those 3 workshops because I wanted bigger buildings for some reason. I am still going to grab a workshop. I'm going to rotate it on its side. It's going to fit perfectly here. And 2 of them will fit. I can now draw a line in the middle. Delete the 2 sideways workshops. And boom, I have room for 2 medium-sized buildings instead. So yeah, 2 mediums equal 3 elongated. So you can use that to completely change your setup whenever you want, as long as you have 3 elongated or 2 mediums next to each other. You can switch between them whenever you'd like. Makes deleting workshops and adding infirmaries later a lot easier. So it's another little fun trick. So anyway, that's long enough for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll try to answer as best as I can. But that should help you all out with your faith route. So, hope you all enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.